This is macOS Ken.
Mr. Mohan's mixed message, picking the perfect iPhone, and Apple's AI buying spree. It's Friday, the 26th of March, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macOSken with offer code macOSken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSken. A mixed message Thursday from BofA Merrill Lynch analyst Wamsi Mohan. Apple 3.0 ran part of a note he wrote. In it, Mohan points out the job Apple's done increasing iPhone's installed base. They've done it in a couple of ways in his estimation. 1, expanding the iPhone product set to include a broader range of phones catering to a wider set of price bands, and 2, continuing to reduce prices on older iPhones, which has led to the introduction of more capable phones with faster processors, larger screens, better cameras, and better battery life at the lower price bands. According to Mr. Mohan, the result of these actions, along with installment plans introduced by Apple and carriers, has led to the iPhone installed base reaching record levels, growing beyond 1 billion devices, with Apple today offering phones ranging in price from $399 to $1,399. Sounds appreciative, right? And with a price target of $155, you might think so. And yet, he has a neutral rating on Apple shares. Hence my mention of a mixed message. Consumer Reports seems to have decided that the iOS-Android war is over without picking a winner. Cult of Mac says the product review service has taken a new tack in naming the best smartphones of 2021. Rather than choosing from all the smartphones out there, Consumer Reports has chosen the best Android phone and the best iPhone. I guess that's something you can do with iPhones when there's as wide a range as the one mentioned by Mr. Mohan. The best Android phone, according to the service, is the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. For more on that phone, you should subscribe to Consumer Reports. As for best iPhone, the service says iPhone 12 Pro Max is the one. According to Consumer Reports, while the 12 Pro Max will cost you $100 more than its smaller sibling, the 12 Pro, it packs in several more hours of battery life, a slightly larger display, and a 2.5x zoom camera that gets you just a hair closer to the action than the 12 Pro's 2x camera. That said, the site points out that the Pro Max is both heavier and larger than the phones behind it. Consumer Reports also points out that any iPhone in the 12 line will be better than any previous iPhone, thanks to its sweet 5G-ness. Really, though, they say you almost can't go wrong with any smartphone. The way CR puts it, even the most lackluster of smartphones represent an epic leap in technology from a decade ago, and that means you don't have to buy the #1 rated phone to get a great product. So says Consumer Reports. Apple has widened the range of smartphones it'll take off your hands. iMore says Apple now accepts the Google Pixel 4a, Google Pixel 5, and Samsung Galaxy Note 20 as a trade-in. The site actually quotes a piece from Mac Rumors saying as part of Apple's trade-in program, customers can trade in a Google Pixel 5 and receive up to $350 of credit towards purchasing a new product. The Google Pixel 4a for a value of up to $180, or the Galaxy Note 20 for up to $425. Apple's shortcuts problem turns out to have been short-lived. I told you yesterday of an issue that had shortcut sharing links older than a few days not working. Clicking one led to the error message, "Shortcut not found," according to reports. Apple said it was aware of the issue and was working on the issue, and now that work seems to be done. iDownload blog ran a report Thursday saying that the problem appeared to be fixed. An interesting story from Apple's recent past that could mean a lot for its future. Mac Rumors highlights new numbers from the analytics firm GlobalData. According to those, from 2016 through 2020, Apple acquired more artificial intelligence firms than any other company. Over the course of the last several years, Mac Rumors says, Apple has bought companies like Emotion, Turi, Glimpse, RealFace, Shazam, Senso Motoric, Silk Labs, Drive.ai, Laser, Spectral Edge, Voices, Xnor.ai, and more, all with the aim of improving the AI and machine learning capabilities of its products and services. And those, the piece points out, are just the ones we know about. In its report, GlobalData says Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook collectively undertook 60 acquisitions in the AI tech space during 2016 through 2020, while Apple led the race with 25 acquisitions. AI has remained a key focus area for tech giants, and growing competition to dominate the space has resulted in an acquisition spree among those companies. Interesting news around Apple Watch, iPhone, and their combined ability to test certain heart patients. Apple Insider has word of a Stanford study funded by Apple. They were trying to figure out whether Apple's hardware and an associated app could test cardiovascular patient frailty, as well as tests run in a clinical setting. According to the piece, the study compared traditional walk test performance to an in-clinic version measured by iPhone and Apple Watch sensors, as well as a walk test carried out remotely via app. It also incorporated passively collected activity data. Perhaps not surprisingly, the in-clinic test gave the most accurate reading. However, the at-home tests were good enough for assessments. According to the findings, according to the report, the app-based walk test could accurately determine a patient's frailty. However, there was a slight dip in accuracy when the test was conducted at home. Researchers attribute that to out-of-clinic variability rather than anything wrong with Apple's sensor suite. The piece goes on to say, although the passive activity data was slightly less reliable than an at-home walk test, the researchers suggest that each method could support the remote monitoring of older cardiovascular patients. The researchers were quoted as saying, "In this study, we showed that smart device-based measurements, including both a 6-minute walk test and passively collected activity data, provide clinically accurate and meaningful insights about functional capacity in patients with cardiovascular disease." Plus, you can play Grindstone on the iPhone. Can your clinic do that? Apple Music as a speech tool. Mac Rumors has word of Saylists, which are being used to augment speech therapy in kids with speech sound disorder, or SSD. Citing a piece from Music Week, the report says getting children with SSD to repeat challenging syllables, words, and phrases is considered to be one of the most successful therapeutic strategies. Of course, that sounds boring as. Enter Saylists, which have kids repeating those challenging syllables in song. Apple Music, Warner Music, and Accenture Interactive's Rothko have partnered on the program. So far, the piece says, the algorithm has selected 173 tracks that meet its criteria, including Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now, Lizzo's Good as Hell, and Fatboy Slim's Right Here, Right Now. Right now, the songs are English only and the Saylists are UK only. No word on when or if the program will use other languages and reach other shores. More news in a moment. But first, a word from Sunbasket, delivering oven-ready meals that are fast, fresh, and delicious. When did you last have award-winning chefs create a meal for you? You can make that happen with Sunbasket. Their chefs have won Michelin Awards and a James Beard Award. They take what they know and turn it into wonderful meals that'll show up at your door. Meals like braised beef Penang curry with jasmine rice and sweet peas, or shrimp paella with fire-roasted tomatoes and bell pepper. Everything I've had from Sunbasket has been great, in part because of their premium quality ingredients. And their fresh and ready meals are just $8.99, so they're good for your body and your budget. Fresh and ready for the oven or microwave, you could be trying something new in no time. Now is an excellent time for you to check them out because right now Sunbasket has a limited time offer. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, including free shipping on the first box, when you go right now to sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout for $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, plus free shipping on your first box. Sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken. Offer expires on the 13th of April. I saw something that made me happy yesterday. Somebody used the term perfect storm correctly. A lot of times when something good's about to happen, for Apple, say, or some other company, analysts will say, it's a perfect storm. Did you even see that movie? I mean, I didn't, but I did read the book. Ships were lost. People died. Wasn't cool. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would a perfect storm make me happy? It wouldn't. It doesn't. It was just nice that somebody finally used the term correctly. You know how we keep checking in on the global shortage for microprocessors? Apple Insider says the clog in the Suez Canal could make that worse. I'm assuming you know about the blockage in the Suez Canal. One of the biggest container ships in the world got jammed in one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Now no other ships can get by it, so yeah, it's possible that that ship will choke off more chips. Quoting the piece, about 12% of total global trade moves through the Suez Canal, and while most consumer products shipped to the U.S. reach the West Coast from Asia, rerouted traffic will congest ports that are already experiencing delays and backlogs due to the coronavirus pandemic and a surge in demand for consumer electronics. Now, the trouble in the Suez may have no effect on chips, though it could slow up things chips go into. Quoting the piece again, most chip makers ship their time-sensitive materials by air, so it isn't clear how much the assemblers will be impacted. Because of that, the Suez Canal incident is more likely to affect the finished goods than the chip manufacturers themselves, Gartner research analyst Alan Priestley told the Wall Street Journal. Although the chip industry is used to rises and falls in demand, recent months have seen the market plagued by exaggerated effects that it isn't used to. One chip industry insider called the blockage and recent supply issues a perfect storm. Many in the chip industry are monitoring the blockage for potential effects. Bless whoever that is. They used perfect storm correctly. The ship that's stuck, by the way, is called Ever Given. I say we start a change.org petition and give it a new name. How about Bodie McFace? Apple TV Plus has inked another big overall deal. The Hollywood Reporter says the Cupertino streamer has signed an 8-figure deal with Girls Trip and Little writer Tracy Oliver. The multi-year deal will have Oliver working on movies and TV shows for Apple TV+. She's had tremendous success in both fields. According to the report, Oliver broke out with Girls Trip, which she co-wrote with Kenya Barris, becoming the first black woman to write a movie that grossed more than $100 million. Her feature credits also include Little, The Sun Is Also a Star, and Barbershop, The Next Cut. For the small screen, she developed and executive produces the reboot of The First Wives Club, the second season of which is in production at BET. She's also working on a comedy series with Amy Poehler for Amazon. As for the Apple deal, THR says Oliver's Tracy Yvonne Productions will develop both TV and feature film projects for Apple, with an emphasis on diverse and meaningful stories. Oliver's company also works to improve inclusiveness within the industry. And finally today, a couple of shows you might want to check out on Apple TV or Apple TV Plus this weekend. First, Call to Mac says National Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman has had a chat with Oprah Winfrey for Winfrey's show, The Oprah Conversation. Gorman wowed the crowd at this year's presidential inauguration with the presentation of her poem, The Hill We Climb. Of Gorman, Oprah said, Amanda Gorman is a young woman who stepped into a moment in history with enormous grace and dignity. I was enthralled by her youthful spirit from the first moment we met, and very much looked forward to hearing her unpack all that has happened to her in the past few months. And if you have an Apple TV Plus subscription, you can hear it too. The interview is available now on Apple TV Plus. Now, for something a bit more dramatic, 9 to 5 Mac has word of a production by the Billie Holiday Theatre. According to the report, the group recently recorded a new version of their critically acclaimed work, 12 Angry Men and Women, The Weight of the Wait, at Apple's Steve Jobs Theater. I know, right? I thought that place was closed. Featuring stories from the critically acclaimed book 12 Angry Men, True Stories of Being a Black Man in America Today, 9 to 5 Mac says the film explores narratives of unjust racial profiling and police action. It's not a new work exactly. The piece says it has been performed before, most recently on YouTube. This one's like that one, though 9 to 5 Mac says the latest will include a new original story that covers the killing of Breonna Taylor. Honestly, it sounds like an important work. Also, it will be neat to see the Steve Jobs Theater used as a theater. The film will be available for free through the Apple TV app from today, the 26th of March, through the 22nd of April, according to the report. No Apple TV Plus subscription required. macOS Can, brought to you by me and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macosken with offer code macosken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macosken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.